Halfway across the world was a man who was going to change my life. John Peter McAllister, the only Occidental American ever to become a ninja. Halfway across the world was a man who was going to change my life. John Peter McAllister, the only Occidental American ever to become a ninja.
Time for you to go, little fella.
That's enough! Let's get that loud now! Mate!
I need your help.
You're kidding.
I thought you died on me. You haven't moved for an hour.
A warrior in 16th century Japan sat under an icy waterfall with his arms above his head like this, without moving for 86 hours.
Why'd he do that?
I can't imagine.
Yeah, well, I say you didn't move at all.
Slow heartbeat. Close the door on the senses and listen to the silence.
There must be a lot of laughs at a party.
Got thrown out.
I figured.
Even Rocky had to take a couple of lessons before he went back in the ring with Clubber Lang. Now, if I can't control your passions, the least I can do is teach you enough to stay in one piece.
Thought you'd never offer. How do you know about Rocky? You've been out of the country for over 30 years.
I saw him on the airplane.
Hell of a guy, isn't he? You're kidding with this outfit, right?
It's traditional. We'll ease you into it. Come at me. No holds barred. I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
Hone your reflexes till you react swifter than thought. Your key,
Here, right?
the center of your being. Inner strength.
What about getting the outer strength smacked out of you?
That's something you should also be concerned about. Let's see how you kick. Good.
You didn't feel a thing.
It was still good. A ninja must have perfect balance. Keep your eyes on the attack. From in here. Extend. Expect attack from any direction. Concentrate.
What else you got in that suitcase?
When you're ready.
Well, you win. I can't hack it.
Max.
Yeah, but don't think I'm walking away from Christensen. Because I told him I was going to nail him, and I meant it. Thanks for the lesson.
You have more tenacity than I expected. And speed and courage.
Thanks. Didn't do me a damn bit of good.
It showed you can do more than fight. And that you're gonna have to do.
Now you're beginning to understand me.
You have no choice. You saw Kyle set the fire at the airport. You let Christensen know who you are. Unless you split town. Fat chance. We'll have to deal with this.
We?
I didn't like what happened last night. I didn't like that at all.
Maybe the sheriff would like a visit from a real live ninja.
That could be arranged as soon as I get my breath back.
What is it?
Presents. Let's make that visit.
A villain or a bad guy, somebody who was really despicable, they'd say, why don't you go out and get Lee Van Cleef? He's probably played more villains than any other person in motion pictures. His eyes are such that he got the term angel eyes referred to him. And he can currently be seen playing the good guy, believe it or not, in the NBC series The Master, which is on, did I say on NBC? Well, I'll say it again. On NBC Fridays at 9 p.m. Would you welcome Lee Van Cleef? Good to see you, Lee.
Hey, thank you.
Nice to I don't think you've ever been with us, have you?
No, I haven't.
And I'm not sure we have ever met. Maybe across a room or something.
One time, a long time ago, in New York,
That could have been.
in the late 60s.
That's right. You are right.
Between the middle and late 60s.
You've got a good memory. You started in stage in New York. I suppose most people think because of all the roles you played in motion pictures, you started in pictures, but was stage work first?
Yeah, it was stage work. Very funny entrance into it. I did a couple amateur shows back in Clinton, New Jersey, with the music hall players there, which is quite a popular group. And incidentally, I like that last note.
Thank you. Thanks.
And all the rest of it.
Thank
You can have it if you want it.
I can have it. Okay. No, but the last director, after a couple amateur shows there, took me into New York, and he said I should start studying dramatics. So he took me in there to meet somebody, and they immediately sent me to the Alban Theater. And I got up on the stage there. I didn't know what I was doing. I got up on the stage there, and the director says, read some lines. The stage manager hands me the script. I read the lines. I flub all the way through it. And he says, okay, take your jacket off. And I read some more lines with my jacket off. And he says, take your shirt off. Now I'm beginning to get the message. He wants muscle.
Oh.
And in those days, I had a little. And so then after the shirt, he says, take your pants off. I said, no, just a minute now. With the broad sitting down there with you, I'm talking to Joshua Logan. I don't even know who he is. Huh. And he says, you got jockeys on, haven't you? Yeah, I got shorts on. I usually wear shorts.
Yeah.
So he says, well, take your pants. Okay, so I sit down on the bit. Now, this is the deck of a ship rigged there. So I sit down on the bit, and I proceed to take my shoes off. And they want muscle, you know, so when you put your heel down, the calf muscles stick out for you. So I said, I'm going to take my shoes off because I don't want to wreck the inside of my pants. Do you mind? So I took my pants off, got up on the hatch cover and started, you know, pirouetting around there a little bit, and read some more lines very badly. And he says, okay, get dressed and come down here. I want to talk to you. So down I went, and he says, I want you to start tomorrow.
That was it?
That was it. Only I didn't start tomorrow. Not exactly. I said, I can't. I've got to close up the books. I was doing accounting on the side. I was working in a plant in the daytime. I had to give them 2 weeks' notice. I explained this to him. He said, don't call us. We'll call you. So I got back to the plant the next day. That was a Friday. I told my boss, who had been on stage himself, and he says, you're fired. You're fired. You really want to do this, don't you? I said, yeah, you're fired. You don't have to give us 2 weeks' notice. I fire you right now. So that was that. I closed up the books. I gave them to another accountant to take care of, and that was it.
Never went back to anything but the stage?
Never went back to anything except the stage. Well, not the stage, but the screen. The play happened to be Mr. Roberts.
Not a bad vehicle.
That's a pretty good start. With John Forsythe first and then Hank Fonda?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever get tired of playing bad guys in the motion pictures? You've played some pretty good heavies.
No, they're pretty good characters, actually.
Yeah.
They got a lot of depth, some of them. If you can get some sympathy mixed with the horrible things you're supposed to be doing.
Did anybody ever try to change you physically?
Yes, in the first picture.
Yeah.
I was, Stanley Kramer saw me in High Noon, or in Mr. Roberts, and he called me up. He wanted me to do the part of Harvey Pell in High Noon.
Right.
And he said, but I want you to fix your nose. Well, my nose is kind of a trademark with me. They call me Hawk Nose on every set I get on.
It's a good solid nose.
Yeah, I like
character.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, depth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go with that. So I told him what to do with himself, and that was the end of that interview. Called me back the next day and wants me to play a heavy, so that was my first picture. I played a heavy in High Noon.
That was one of the great classics of all times.
Oh,
Must have been proud to be in that picture.
It's beautiful.
Do you have a problem? I remember reading that when Humphrey Bogart would go into bars, people would have seen all of his pictures where he played the tough guy.
Oh.
Would you get this? Does that happen when you get somebody who's had a couple of belts?
Many
see
years.
you in there and then come over and say, hey, you're the tough guy in pictures, and start to try to get a brouhaha going?
Are you as tough as you play in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Years ago, but there's no challenge now. They look at me and I'm an old bald-headed man, you know.
Oh, how'd you handle it in those days? How'd you handle it?
Yeah, try to talk your way out of it, you know. But if you can't talk your way out, then I happen to get lucky, that's all.
Yeah. What's the new show? You play the good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ninja.
Yeah. The ninja. That's the secret.
Ninja.
The secret Japanese
Very,
society.
very secret, so mystical that there are many views of what a ninja really is. He's a phantom. He's so mysterious that you don't know a ninja unless you happen to be confronted with one. They dress in black outfits.
Right.
And with nothing showing but their eyes. And they hide in the shadows and do what they're supposed to do.
Managed to do many, many things.
Yeah. They use all the ancient weapons as well as just the bare-handed martial arts.
Yeah.